What is up, YouTube? It's Pelton 2015 back at you again. I've actually just washed off the truck. We're at the end of the work day. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I just washed the truck off. It's the end of the day. It's time to go home. Now, there we go. So, I know a while back I said I was going to do a 5 Things I Hate video. Well, here it comes. First up, first things first. It's that damn electronic throttle body. For whatever reason, I mean, I've had the truck now for, I want to say 4 or 5 months now. Now, I have gotten used to the I've gotten used to how the throttle body is, but that still doesn't change the fact that it is still the most annoying feature on this truck. Sorry about that. Alright. Number 2 would be the radio. Now, for its time, sync was pretty good. But I've also had the opportunity to drive my girlfriend's 2017 Fusion, and her car is actually able to, like, you can actually listen. You can Bluetooth your music through the car, and you can also Bluetooth, hands-free calling. Now, this truck it's a 2013, so obviously, technology wasn't where it was, or where it is today, back in 2013, but all in all, the radio is still good. It is still a very good radio. Now, the thing is, I just wish that I was able to Bluetooth the music through it instead of having an auxiliary cable. That's my only complaint as far as as far as like how bad the radio is per se. Number 3. How the door is. I hate that. I can't get comfortable. I can't have one arm hanging out the window during the summertime and ride comfortably. That is the one thing I truly wish I could do. But it's still not a real deal breaker, because which this was one of the things I truly love about this truck, is the fact that it actually has air conditioning. It actually has air conditioning. Number 4 is, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the 5 Things That I Love About a video, in which I knew exactly what I was getting into. But number 4 would have to be the paint. Granted, I have always wanted a black vehicle. And now that I have one, I can understand why people don't really want, that, like, why people actually say it is such a real pain in the ass to keep clean. It really is. It is a true pain in the ass to keep clean. That's actually why I washed the truck today, because I just had to go to the dump. I had to go to the dump today, and it was here in Missouri, we've been having a lot of wet weather, so we actually had a little bit of snow come through, so everything is saturated all to hell. You know, yards are they're starting to dry out pretty nicely, but they're still pretty wet, and this truck was covered. I actually have to get back in there and do a little bit better of a job because there's still a lot of mud that I missed. Now, all of these things are just, you know, it's part of the package whenever you buy a used vehicle, in which number 5 would have to be the tires. In which, I mean, I know that's not really a real problem. It's just more of a problem for me. And what I mean by that is in which I actually had a set of these Mastercraft AXTs on the Ram that I used to have. I had a set on there, and I remember just how bad the traction was whenever I had those tires on that truck. And I mean, granted, this is probably the first time I've ever bought a truck with decent tread life left on the tires, but the tires themselves just aren't very good. In which, I mean, if you're looking for a fairly cheap all-terrain, they're not a bad option. They're not bad. Just so far, the few times that I have taken this truck off the road, it hasn't done very well. And there have been a couple of times where I was thinking, after I got through the mud or wherever it was that I've had to kick this thing into four-wheel drive quite a bit. And I just remember back to the Ram and how I had the Toyo ATs. And those Toyos, they hooked. Like, they really hooked. And that is probably what I'm going to be going with as soon as I can buy a set of tires. It's hopefully a good set of Toyo ATs. Whether it's AT2, AT3, I'm really not sure. Another thing I've also been contemplating is, should I go for a set of mud terrains? I've really thought long and hard about this, and I'm really thinking about just going for some mud terrains. Just to go out and have some fun and, you know, be able to just to know that I actually have that kind of traction off the road. But I really don't take my trucks off-road all that much, so it really wouldn't make sense for me to buy a set of mud terrains. If I still had the Dodge, I probably would go for a set of mud terrains, but that was because that truck had 165,000 on it, and it was, well, honestly, it was a pretty tried and true setup. That truck was truly a tried and true thing, and it did phenomenal. That truck was absolutely a monster. And I only ever got it stuck once. In the whole 5-year time that I owned that truck, I only got it stuck one time. And that was just because I made a stupid decision, and but we'll go into that in another video. Let's see. far, I think that's everything. Stay tuned, though. I think I'm going to end this video here, but stay tuned, though. Because pretty soon we're going to be going over the future plans for the lift, wheels, tires, that kind of stuff. Whether or not I'm going with off-road bumpers or if I'm just gonna like paint these bumpers and just do it that way. I'm gonna do like a cheap off-road look. But I think that is gonna do it for this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe. I know I've only got one subscriber. Can we bump it up to 2? Can we bump it up to 2? I really hope so. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.